In the year 1560, beneath a blood-red moon, Elizabeth Báthory was born into one of Hungary's most powerful and feared families. The Báthory name was whispered in fear across Europe. Her uncle, István Báthory, was known to conduct occult rituals in the dead of night, while her aunt Clara was infamous for her experiments on peasant girls. By the time Elizabeth turned 12, she had already witnessed horrors that would have broken a lesser soul. At 15, she was married to the sadistic warlord Ferenc Nadasdy, a man whose brutality on the battlefield was legendary. It was said he once impaled 200 Ottoman prisoners in a single day, leaving their writhing bodies as a warning. When he rode off to war, Elizabeth was left alone in Csejte Castle, a looming fortress of shadows and secrets. At first, her punishments were cruel but ordinary: servants beaten for insolence, kitchen girls whipped for laziness. But soon, the dungeons echoed with new, unspeakable sounds. The choked, gurgling screams of girls locked inside the Iron Virgin, a spiked closet just tall enough to prevent sitting. Witnesses would later testify about Elizabeth's playroom, where she indulged her darkest fantasies. The silver cage, a contraption suspended over a slow fire, where victims were lowered inch by inch. The blood bath, a copper tub with grooves to collect liquid, where she allegedly submerged herself in the blood of virgins. The Night of 1,000 Needles, a servant girl was said to have endured 365 needles pressed beneath her skin, one for each day of the year. The most infamous tale? That Elizabeth bathed in blood to preserve her youth. Court records describe a secret ledger, its pages stained brown with age, or something worse. Over 650 names, all young women, all vanished without a trace. But the truth may be even stranger. Local folklore speaks of a red lady who wanders Csejte's halls, her pale fingers trailing along the stone walls, leaving behind rust-colored smears. Farmers near the castle refuse to plant crops in the east field, nothing grows there, and at night, some swear they hear the faint sound of weeping. In 1610, King Matthias II, desperate to seize the Báthory fortune, ordered a raid on Csejte. What they found defied explanation. A hidden chamber filled with strange alchemical instruments. A journal detailing Elizabeth's obsession with eternal beauty, including recipes for an elixir made of pure essence. A servant girl, barely alive, chained to a wall, her skin unnaturally pale. Yet no mass graves were ever discovered. No bodies. Only whispers. Elizabeth was sentenced to be walled alive in her own castle. Masons sealed her inside a tiny room, leaving only a slit for food. For years later, she was found dead. But the stories say her hair had grown to cover her body like a shroud, her nails curled like claws from scratching at the stones. When workers tore down the wall in 1642, they claimed the bricks were stained black, as if burned from within. The legacy of the Blood Countess. To this day, visitors to Csejte report strange occurrences. The scent of copper and roses in empty hallways. Phantom whispers in a language no one recognizes. A shadowy figure glimpsed in mirrors, her lips moving as if in prayer, or a curse. Was Elizabeth Báthory a monster? A madwoman? Or something far older, far darker, that wore her skin for a time? One thing is certain, the castle remembers. And some doors should never be opened.